Cliff Richard's name often evokes records, sold-out tours, and a boyish charm that seem permanently polished for the stage. Yet behind the public image lies a story of quiet resilience, private longing, and steadfast determination. His life has been shaped by change, faith, and a deep sense of loyalty to music, to friends, and to his own principles. Cliff's journey began in a world already in flux, long before fame found him, and his story has never been defined solely by chart positions or applause. It is the story of a man who stood tall while the world tested him, who learned that endurance often matters more than triumph, and that the heart's quietest lessons are sometimes the most enduring. Love that waited in silence. Love for Cliff Richard was never about spectacle or public admiration. He never married and had no children, yet his life was touched deeply by connection and devotion that the world could only glimpse through occasional collaborations and shared moments on stage. One of the most enduring relationships in his life was with Olivia Newton-John, whom he met in 1971 when she was still a young, untested singer. Their bond was immediate, instinctive, and profound, yet circumstances prevented it from ever becoming romantic. Olivia was already engaged to Bruce Welch, a close friend and fellow musician, and Cliff chose loyalty over desire, keeping his feelings private. Over the decades, their friendship endured, marked by professional collaborations and mutual support, a connection that remained tender, understated, and genuine. In their final duet in 2015, the emotion in their voices reflected a lifetime of unspoken understanding. When Olivia passed away in 2022, Cliff remembered her not for sorrow, but for the life they shared quietly, proving that love can exist fully without needing to possess or declare itself. It was a love that never sought attention, yet its presence shaped him profoundly. Born into a world in transition, Cliff Richard was born Harry Roger Webb on October 14, 1940, in Lucknow, British India, during a period of global upheaval. The Second World War was raging, empires were dissolving, and uncertainty hung in the air before he could even grasp the world around him. His father worked for the Indian Railways, providing some stability, while Harry's earliest years unfolded among warm verandas and household routines. Yet history moved faster than childhood could process. As India approached independence, British families were advised to leave, and in 1948 the Webbs boarded a ship for England, leaving behind the only home Harry had ever known. The transition to post-war Britain was stark. Gray skies, rationed food, and modest housing replaced the sunlit familiarity of India. These early experiences instilled resilience, adaptability, and a capacity to carry memory without being trapped by it. From an early age, Harry learned that survival often required patience, quiet courage, and the ability to move forward even when nothing felt permanent. Finding a voice in a silent country. By the late 1950s, Harry Webb had become Cliff Richard, stepping into a Britain that had yet to claim its own rock and roll identity. American music dominated the airwaves, while most British singers offered polite, safe tunes. Cliff arrived with urgency, a sound and energy that felt both new and urgent. In 1958, he recorded Move It, a track unlike anything Britain had produced before. Its raw intensity and rhythm captured the attention of a new generation of listeners, breaking through charts and opening a door for British music to claim its own voice. Alongside the shadows, Cliff's stage presence, confidence, and relatability resonated with teenagers who had long been ignored by the mainstream. He became a symbol of youthful energy and possibility, not by following trends, but by creating something distinctly British, something that reflected their own experiences, frustrations, and excitement. In that moment, Cliff didn't just become a star, he helped shape a generation and gave Britain its first authentic rock and roll identity. From pop star to cultural force, Cliff's influence extended beyond music. He understood early that staying relevant required evolution, and film became a natural extension of his artistry. Movies like The Young Ones and Summer Holiday were more than entertainment. They captured the spirit of a changing Britain, offering optimism and excitement at a time when the country was learning to rebuild its confidence. Cliff's natural presence on screen allowed him to connect with audiences beyond his music, and the films became cultural landmarks, shaping youth culture while cementing his place as a versatile entertainer. By the early 1960s, he wasn't just topping charts, he was leading the box office, a rare achievement for any British pop star at the time. Importantly, this success came before the Beatles reshaped the global music scene, positioning Cliff as a trailblazer who helped set the stage for Britain's later musical revolution. He wasn't chasing trends, he was quietly shaping them, providing a model for artistic integrity and public engagement that endured for decades. Faith, identity, and quiet conviction. In 1966, at the height of his fame, Cliff publicly embraced his Christian faith, a choice that surprised many in a pop culture increasingly defined by rebellion and spectacle. His approach was never preachy or performative. Instead, his faith informed his decisions, his music, and his life with a quiet integrity that often went unnoticed by the tabloids. Some fans drifted away, puzzled by this shift, yet many stayed, drawn to the sincerity underpinning his every choice. For Cliff, faith provided stability, a sense of self that didn't depend on public approval. It offered grounding in a world of constant change, allowing him to navigate the highs and lows of fame with a calm resilience few could emulate. Rather than diminishing his artistry, it deepened it, bringing intention, reflection, and emotional depth to a space often dominated by image and surface appeal. Reinvention without losing himself. As musical tastes evolved in the 1970s and beyond, many artists struggled to remain relevant. Cliff, however, adapted with care and authenticity. Songs like Devil Woman and We Don't Talk Anymore demonstrated a modern sound while retaining his emotional core. These were not nostalgic attempts at recapturing the past, but genuine explorations of new artistic territory that resonated with contemporary audiences. By reinventing himself without losing his essence, Cliff showed that longevity in entertainment requires balance, intelligence, and a commitment to remaining true. His evolution wasn't flashy or desperate, it was deliberate, steady, and deeply human. Enduring challenges, preserving dignity. Life in the public eye has its trials, and Cliff faced them with composure and reflection. The pressures of fame, media scrutiny, and the demands of a long career could have eroded him, yet he maintained dignity, often turning adversity into private reflection rather than public spectacle. These challenges reinforced lessons learned in childhood: resilience, patience, and the quiet power of self-possession. Cliff's approach to life has always been thoughtful, measured, and guided by principles rather than impulse. This steadiness, perhaps more than any hit record or sold-out concert, is what defines his enduring presence. Legacy beyond charts and applause. Today, Cliff Richard's legacy cannot be reduced to numbers or accolades, though they are impressive. His story is one of endurance, restraint, and quiet courage. He lived with private love, navigated cultural shifts with integrity, and consistently chose authenticity over fleeting trends. Across decades, he remained present, adaptable, and true to himself, offering a model of what it means to sustain a career without surrendering personal values. His voice remains familiar because it was never merely performance. It came from a place of sincerity, hope, and experience. For generations of fans, Cliff Richard is more than a pop icon. He is a testament to the strength that comes from faith, the quiet power of resilience, and the grace of living a life guided by principle. Standing still, living fully. Cliff Richard's life reminds us that fame is not the measure of fulfillment. What endures is quiet strength, emotional integrity, and the ability to love and create without seeking constant validation. He has experienced longing, loss, triumph, and reinvention, yet he has done so on his own terms. The charts, the awards, and the tours are part of the story, but the heart of it lies in the choices he made, the dignity he preserved, and the music he created from a place of honesty. Cliff Richard stands as a figure who shows us that a life can be remarkable not only for its accomplishments, but for the care, reflection, and humanity with which it is lived. His story is a reminder that true legacy is measured not by spectacle, but by endurance, authenticity, and the courage to remain true to oneself when the world expects you to perform otherwise.